Breaking today, Meghan Markle just couldn't deal with Catherine, the Princess of Wales, completing one of the most amazing feats for a royal who is recovering from cancer in total privacy, because she didn't shout about this Three Peaks mission at all until she had actually achieved it, which is just Catherine all over, isn't it?
I'm so grateful to be here, to be strong enough to walk these hills. But more importantly, it's to give something back and acknowledge really all the incredible work going on up and down this country.
Princess Catherine has just made a statement that many people believe speaks louder than any headline ever could. She didn't answer critics with speeches or public back and forth. Instead, she let her actions tell the story. After her inspiring recovery from cancer, Catherine chose to take on one of the toughest physical challenges in the United Kingdom. Rather than slowing down, she embraced an incredible test of strength, determination, and resilience. Her decision quickly caught widespread attention as she tackled the famous National Three Peaks Challenge, a demanding journey that pushes even experienced climbers to their limits. Every step up those steep mountains showed courage, discipline, and an unwavering spirit, proving that true strength is often demonstrated through actions instead of words. The challenge itself is far from ordinary. It requires climbing the highest mountains in England, Scotland, and Wales within a single 4-hour period.
How are you doing, Ted? You're not too cold. It's not great weather, is it?
Spectacular.
So many people are still in their t-shirts. Why are they doing that? Are you sick? Is this your cancer? Have you got any? I'm so impressed. You've made it to the second week. Yeah? Super well done to you. We'll be cheering you on. Hopefully we'll see you on Snowdon. Exactly.
Completing such an achievement demands careful planning, physical endurance, and tremendous mental focus. Catherine successfully reached all 3 summits while dedicating the effort to raising funds and awareness for the Royal Marsden Cancer Charity, helping support vital cancer research and patient care. That meaningful purpose gave the challenge even greater significance. Instead of being simply a personal accomplishment, it became a powerful way to encourage others facing difficult health journeys and remind them that hope can continue even after life's toughest moments. For Catherine, this mission carried an especially personal meaning. Her cancer diagnosis changed the course of her life and gave her a completely new perspective on what truly matters. As she recovered, she became determined to use her own experience to help people walking similar paths. This challenge wasn't about personal recognition. It became a heartfelt commitment to encourage patients, survivors, and families who continue to face enormous challenges every day. She has spoken about how deeply the experience shaped her outlook, leading her to ask herself how she could transform her own journey into something that might inspire others who were searching for hope during uncertain times.
Princess Kate has completed the Three Peaks Challenge to raise money for cancer. The Princess of Wales climbed the highest peaks in England, Scotland and Wales over a period of 24 hours. She says she took part in the challenge to raise money for the hospital where she was treated for her cancer and build awareness for holistic healthcare. Princess Kate has been recovering from cancer after revealing her diagnosis 2 years ago now.
Motivated by that purpose, Catherine decided the best way to give back was by taking on a challenge that symbolized perseverance from beginning to end. Climbing those mountains represented far more than reaching the top. Every difficult section of the route reflected determination, courage, and the belief that progress is possible even when the road ahead feels overwhelming. She wanted people to see that every small step forward matters and that strength often grows during life's hardest moments. As Catherine continued her climb, more people became inspired by the meaning behind her journey. Her determination encouraged others to keep moving forward despite their own obstacles. Along the way, she met an extraordinary young boy named Ted Hasslam, whose remarkable story added an even deeper emotional layer to the experience. Their meeting became one of the most memorable moments of the entire challenge, highlighting the incredible resilience shown by so many families affected by cancer. What began as a demanding physical journey quickly became a powerful symbol of hope, compassion, and shared determination.
I just standing at somewhere waiting for my friend, and then I suddenly spot out Princess there, a lean female hiker who is really climbing up. So she was on her cap and in a quite a dark outfit, and also carrying a black backpack. And then I suddenly realized she was Catherine. But, I was speechless. I could not really know what proper names I should name her, because I don't want to be impolite.
Ted's own journey is nothing short of inspiring. At only 3 years old, he faced an aggressive spinal tumor that left him completely paralyzed. Despite such a life-changing challenge, his determination never faded. Years later, he took on the difficult mountain climb using a specially adapted wheelchair built for rough terrain. Surrounded by the constant support of his father, family, and close friends, Ted refused to let his condition define what he could accomplish. Reaching the summit represented far more than completing a climb. It became a moving example of courage, teamwork, and perseverance. Every push forward reflected a purpose much bigger than the mountain itself, reminding everyone watching that hope, determination, and the support of others can inspire extraordinary achievements. Their mission was about far more than completing a difficult climb. Every step was taken to raise money for Molly Ollie's Children's Charity, an organization that supports children and families facing serious health challenges. When Catherine saw Ted's determination and his genuine passion for helping others, she was clearly moved. Smiling warmly, she praised his incredible effort, saying, "I'm so impressed. You've climbed all the way to the second peak. What an incredible achievement. Absolutely fantastic. Well done."
And so what did Meghan do? Rather than just thinking, I'm going to let the Princess of Wales have this moment, she decided to launch a new product, send out a summer entertainment email, and show off some of her work on MasterChef Australia. But of course, actually, none of it mattered, because it paled into insignificance compared to the way that Catherine was able to prove that she is able to give something back in a way that is just so genuine.
That heartfelt exchange became one of the most memorable moments of the entire journey. It wasn't simply about reaching another mountain, it was a celebration of courage, compassion, and the difference one determined person can make. For Catherine, those moments remained among the most meaningful memories of the challenge. The demanding climbs and spectacular scenery were unforgettable, but what stayed with her most was Ted's remarkable spirit. Despite the obstacles he had faced throughout his life, he approached every part of the climb with optimism and determination. Watching his perseverance unfold in front of her served as a powerful reminder that true strength often comes from refusing to give up, no matter how difficult the road becomes. His example added even greater meaning to a journey that was already filled with purpose and inspiration. As the challenge continued, Catherine met another walker whose experience reflected a completely different side of the mountains. Jackie Leung wasn't climbing to overcome a personal medical challenge or raise attention through extraordinary circumstances. Instead, he was simply enjoying the beauty, peace, and adventure that the landscape offered. His calm approach stood in striking contrast to the intense determination shown by Ted.
Because he's being denied his royal security protection. Now, he seems to have assumed he was going to get this. Of course, has been a battle now that's going on for many years. He's repeatedly said he will not return to the UK with Meghan and the children unless he has the full level of royal security.
Meeting Jackie reminded Catherine that these mountains inspire people in many different ways. For some, they represent personal triumph, while for others they offer a chance to reconnect with nature and enjoy the journey itself. As Jackie made his way higher, with cooler air surrounding him and stronger winds sweeping across the rocky slopes, he suddenly noticed someone climbing nearby. At first, He didn't immediately recognize who it was, but after taking another look, the realization quickly set in. Just a short distance away was Catherine, the Princess of Wales, making her own determined ascent. The unexpected encounter left him genuinely surprised. Sharing such a challenging trail with someone so well known made the experience even more memorable. Before continuing upward, Catherine stopped briefly, smiled warmly, and congratulated Jackie on his effort and determination. It was only a short conversation, but one filled with genuine kindness and mutual respect, making the climb even more meaningful for everyone involved. When both eventually reached the summit, they shared a firm handshake that quietly reflected the achievement they had both worked so hard to accomplish. There was no need for long speeches. The simple gesture captured the determination, effort, and persistence that had carried them to the top. After taking a brief moment to appreciate the accomplishment, Catherine adjusted her equipment, caught her breath, and continued toward the next stage of the demanding challenge, focused on completing the remarkable journey ahead.
And I know personally how difficult that journey is. And I really wanted to use this opportunity as my way of contributing to all the wonderful work that's going on.
Nearby, another participant waited for a friend to catch up while taking in the dramatic mountain scenery. As they looked across the rugged landscape, one person immediately caught their attention. A determined female cyclist was steadily working her way uphill, showing impressive focus with every movement. Wearing a cap pulled low and concentrating entirely on the climb ahead, she continued without hesitation despite the demanding terrain. Her steady pace reflected quiet determination rather than speed, and every turn of the pedals showed her commitment to reaching the top. Against the stunning mountain backdrop, her effort became another reminder that every person on the trail carried their own unique story, each driven by a different purpose but united by the same challenge. As the challenge gradually came to an end, it became clear that this journey was about much more than climbing mountains. The breathtaking views, the demanding trails, and the physical exhaustion were certainly unforgettable, but they weren't what truly defined the experience. What stood out most were the people, the stories, and the powerful reminders that determination can take many different forms. Every person Catherine met along the way added another layer to a journey that had already become deeply meaningful.
Well, I told y'all before that Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Scamalot, was a wannabe Kardashian, okay? All Meghan Markle wants to be is an influencer, a reality star. Imagine being British royalty, and now you're basically a D-list reality star and Netflix doesn't even want you. Well, Meghan Markle, according to some sources online, she's going to bring a camera crew back to the United Kingdom with her next month.
Looking back at everything that unfolded, it's easy to understand why this challenge captured so much attention. From the very beginning, Catherine approached the National Three Peaks Challenge with a purpose that extended far beyond herself. After everything she had experienced during her cancer journey, she could have chosen a far quieter path. Few people would have questioned that decision. Instead, she decided to step into one of the most physically demanding adventures in Britain, not for personal recognition, but to help raise awareness and support for cancer care and research through the Royal Marsden Cancer Charity. That decision alone sent a powerful message. It demonstrated that difficult experiences can sometimes inspire people to help others facing similar situations. Rather than allowing her own journey to define her future, Catherine chose to transform it into something that could encourage families, patients, survivors, and supporters alike. Throughout the challenge, every mountain represented more than another climb. Each summit reflected another step forward, another reminder that progress often comes one careful step at a time.
She's happy to go up the hill, but she hates going down the hill.
We don't have that much farther to go.
What?
And Hilltop Jennifer did make me giggle, writing, Catherine is out there climbing mountains in more ways than one, while Meghan Markle is seen sliding down one on her bottom. Kind of symbolic of their respective lives, wouldn't you agree?
There were no shortcuts across the rugged terrain. Every mile required patience, determination, and resilience. In many ways, That mirrored the recovery journeys faced by countless people living with cancer. Progress rarely happens overnight. It comes through persistence, hope, and the support of those around you. That theme became even more powerful after meeting Ted Hasslam. Among all the unforgettable moments during the challenge, Ted's determination quickly became one of the defining memories. His story showed everyone that courage isn't measured by physical ability alone. Despite facing enormous challenges from a very young age, Ted refused to let those circumstances determine what he could achieve. Supported by his family, friends, and specially adapted equipment, he tackled terrain that many able-bodied people would struggle to complete. Watching him continue forward reminded everyone nearby that perseverance often inspires far more people than perfection ever could. For Catherine, that encounter clearly carried special meaning. Here was a young person who understood hardship in a way few children ever should, yet still approached an enormous challenge with optimism and determination. Their brief conversation reflected mutual respect rather than sympathy. It became a meeting between two people whose lives had both been shaped by difficult health experiences, each finding strength in different ways.
Love the fact people didn't recognize her. She got out of the way of those descending, which is the right etiquette. She didn't have an army of obvious guards with her. She carried her own pack and didn't make it obvious. Princess Catherine is in a class all by herself.
Moments like that cannot be planned. They simply happen. Sometimes a short conversation on a mountain trail leaves a greater impact than speeches delivered before thousands of people. The meeting with Jackie Leung offered another important perspective. Unlike Ted, Jackie wasn't climbing because of a deeply personal medical journey. He represented something equally meaningful: the simple joy of embracing nature and challenging yourself for the experience itself. His calm presence showed another side of the mountains. Not everyone climbs carrying the same story, but everyone shares the same path once the ascent begins. That brief interaction reminded viewers that every person walking beside us may have completely different reasons for being there. Some are overcoming personal struggles, others are creating memories with friends, some are supporting charities. Others are simply chasing adventure. Yet, for a few moments, all those stories crossed the very same trail. Perhaps that's one of the reasons the challenge resonated with so many people. The mountains didn't separate people, they brought them together. Throughout the climb, Catherine appeared focused on the people around her just as much as the route ahead. Whether encouraging Ted, congratulating Jackie, or quietly continuing through difficult sections herself, every interaction reflected the same steady attitude. There was no need for dramatic gestures or lengthy speeches. Sometimes a smile, a handshake, or a few encouraging words carry far greater meaning. Those small moments often become the memories people remember longest. As stories from the challenge spread, many observers pointed out how different this appearance felt from the constant headlines that often dominate discussions surrounding the royal family.
And for her to, at the moment that we were all being blown away by Catherine's skill and bravery, launch a new product, a coming soon moment for was never, was just so predictable. As Harry Meghan Spare put it, of course, right on cue, she couldn't stand the fact that Catherine just completed Britain's National Three Peaks Challenge, a 23-mile hiking challenge, something Meghan could never do. So what does she do? She announces a new product drop. What a...
Instead of responding to public debates, Catherine allowed her actions to become the focus. The conversation shifted naturally toward resilience, recovery, charity, and service. That contrast didn't require explanation. People drew their own conclusions simply by watching what unfolded. Rather than becoming another chapter in ongoing public speculation, the challenge became an opportunity to highlight hope. It reminded many people that public figures can use their platforms in different ways, especially when supporting causes that touch millions of families around the world. Cancer affects people regardless of age, background, or profession. Almost everyone knows someone whose life has been changed by it. That reality gave Catherine's challenge an emotional connection that reached far beyond royal supporters. It became relatable because it reflected experiences shared by countless ordinary families. The mountains themselves became symbols throughout the journey. Standing at the base, they appeared enormous. At times, the climb seemed never-ending. The weather changed, the terrain became steeper. Fatigue inevitably set in, but each difficult section eventually gave way to another step forward. That simple pattern reflected an important lesson repeated throughout the entire challenge. No matter how difficult today's climb may seem, continuing forward is often the only way to eventually reach the summit. Ted demonstrated that lesson. Catherine demonstrated it. The volunteers demonstrated it. The families demonstrated it. Everyone involved became part of a much larger story built around resilience rather than personal achievement alone. Looking back across the entire journey, one thing becomes impossible to ignore. None of these moments happened because someone was searching for attention. They happened because people chose to support causes bigger than themselves. The fundraising efforts reminded everyone why events like these matter. Behind every donation are researchers working toward better treatments, medical professionals caring for patients, volunteers giving their time, and families hoping for brighter days ahead. Every contribution helps move that mission forward. Every conversation raises awareness. Every challenge completed encourages someone else not to give up. Perhaps that's why this story has resonated so strongly. It isn't simply about mountains. It isn't simply about endurance. It's about people. It's about choosing hope during uncertain times. It's about encouraging complete strangers with a few kind words. It's about discovering that strength often appears when life becomes most difficult. And perhaps most importantly, it's about recognizing that no one has to face difficult journeys completely alone. Even brief moments of encouragement can stay with someone for years. Sometimes one conversation changes an entire day. Sometimes one smile restores confidence. Sometimes watching another person's determination inspires someone to begin their own journey forward. That may be the greatest achievement to come from this remarkable challenge. Not the record, not the distance, not the mountains themselves, but the inspiration left behind for everyone who followed the story. Long after the hiking boots are packed away and the trails grow quiet again, the message continues. Resilience matters. Kindness matters. Supporting others matters. Whether someone is climbing an actual mountain or facing challenges in everyday life, progress begins with taking the next step. And perhaps that's the lesson that will remain long after the headlines fade. So, what do you think about Catherine's remarkable journey and the inspiring people she met along the way? Which moment stood out to you the most? Was it Ted's incredible determination, the unexpected meetings on the mountain, or Catherine's decision to turn her own experience into something that could encourage others? Share your thoughts in the comments below because we'd love to hear your perspective. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe for more stories like this, and share this video with friends and family who may find it inspiring. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.